Ooh, hello. And right, I'm going. But I've got my recycling, don't worry. No one else's YouTube channel starts with chuffing having to do chores. Oops. Right, hello. And welcome back. Now today I'm just going to do a short video around this transporter, e-transporter, just while we've got a bit of daylight and I've got a bit of free time, because my days are never free. Do a bit of recycling. I'm never going to be a YouTube sensation while doing a bit of, not even looking back at it. Alright, I'm not going too far. We have got a new glass recycling bin, so there's a good chance where I'm going now it probably doesn't exist. So they've omitted a central bottle bank and issued everybody with their own to save money. Hopefully it's still there. Right, that's what the back looks like of the new e-transporter. But just on this video I'm just going to call it a transporter. I know it's an e-transporter because it says it there. The reason why this is the E one is because it is fully electric. Now I know a lot of you are thinking, well, the new transporter is a transit, oh, and it's electric, so this thing has not got a lot going for it in the mind of the ordinary person. But that said, it's got 1,000 miles on it so far. I've owned it for about 2 weeks and I absolutely love this thing. So yes, that's the back of it. We've got two interior lights there. It came ply lined, and we've got some hooks, albeit you can't get, there we go. We've got some hooks in the back with no spare wheels, so we've got that pump there. And that's it, pretty much it in the back. You do have an alarm system in the back as well, which I don't think you used to get. So the backs now are alarmed. Could be wrong with that, but I'm sure that is a new feature. That'll stop them breaking in and stealing your stuff, won't it? Right. Let's go to the recycling. Doop-a-doop-a-doo. Right. To disconnect this, so currently it's charging. Forget that bit. I am an electrician and I've approved of that. I would never fit yours like it, but on my house it's fine. And what they do say is an electrician's house is always the worst one wired, so it's probably the last one as well, because everyone else's house gets done before yours. Right, that's currently locked, but I've got the keys in my pocket. If I press this, it'll just unlock itself. There, look, and it's out. Plug that into there, and that's home and dry. You do end up with a bit of a lead there, but not tripping over that, that's fine. Do remember to close this, because I have drove down the road and left it open. Doesn't quite close as nice as what I'd like it to, but that's it. Right, I'll just go around the outside first. I quite like the look of this van. I don't think it's offensive at all. Let's just brush over the fact that it does share the body with a transit. But let's say I don't think that's a bad thing at all. I know there's a lot of V-dub boys there absolutely seething, but just get over it. I mean, let's face it, people never used to shop at Aldi. Now look, it's a fucking #1 supermarket in the country. So once you get over something, you'll be all right. And just let's face, just get on with it. And what are you going to buy? All right, Volkswagen no longer exists as far as a nice diesel van. In your eyes, what are you going to buy? A Vauxhall, Citroen, Renault? Oh, might as well just buy this. Got a Volkswagen badge on it. It's better. It is loads better. If anything, Ford know how to make a work van, and that's what this is. It's a work van. Volkswagen made campers and day vans, but I mean, who's got time for that? Nobody. This is what you want. I love it. I absolutely love it. Right, let's get in it. As you open it up here, I don't know, the keys have gone. Just lights up nicely. Right, as you will notice, it does say Volkswagen, and welcome to Volkswagen. Right, while it warms up, I will go through a few things. Right, so push to start. Okay, and that's it. The wipers and the lights are on one stalk here, so there you go. Twist that for that. Do it again. So what I sometimes have done is knocked it into neutral. So while I'm driving, I just want to blip the windscreen wipers. I have by accident knocked it into neutral there. So that now is your gear shift. So that's your forward, your reverse, and then your park on there as well. Don't know what B does. Yes, right, 100% and 147 miles. Now, it was quite chilly last night, so that does knock the hell out of it. So the weather is something to consider with the range. But at the moment, I'm only doing 100 miles a day. And that doesn't seem a lot, and it isn't a lot. So I've been going to Sheffield and I've been going to Leeds, and that's as far really as I will be going. And when I come home, I just put it on charge, and it is super convenient. And I know a lot of people now are totally against it. I was against it. The thought of it absolutely boiled my blood. But I don't know. Like I say, the thought of having an electric vehicle at the time, hated it. But I've got this, and I'm not just saying this, I absolutely love this van. And like I say, I never thought I'd have owned an electric vehicle at all. I just think that it drives so good, and there's less mechanical sympathy. I'm quite like an empathetic person as far as mechanical components and everything else. I often think when you give a car a bit of a thrashing, there is elements of it kind of fall into pieces. For a burnout, for instance, I've never done a burnout on it. Well, that's not true, I have. But when I do a burnout, I mean, I'm very rarely when I was younger. You often think, oh, poor drive shafts, poor wheel bearings or whatever, poor tyres. Whereas this, you don't really have that. It's just an electric motor doing its thing, and you're fine. And honestly, it drives smooth as silk. And you can push your way to the front of the line, and you're off. You're in front of everybody, and you're gone. I quite like that. The only niggle on this, and I'll get to it later, and that's the only niggle I've got with it. Right, like I say, I'll tell you that later on. Right, while it's warming up, I will just go through the cabin. It is very, very nice in here. I've just put the seat covers on it recently, so I'll just put a picture on now of what the seats do look like. I think the material of it does seem cheap, and I think if you'd never had covers on it, these seats are going to last 20,000 miles at the most before they're going to start wearing and tearing. Yeah, so they're not the best of quality. Even the armrests, you can literally feel the bones inside it. They just feel crap. I'll be honest. This Transporter does have the tray in the middle, so this tray here, excuse the cover, does fold out. There's a bit of a band there, and then something just to put in, but there's nothing really to write home about, to be honest. But it's not too bad. I quite like it. But it does have its own armrest, so that tray coming out really, other than to put your dinner on it, I don't really know what it's for. So you do have like the captain chair, and you've got the two armrests there, which, to be fair, I quite use. I do think with the modern technology on everything on here, it does make you a lazy driver. So all the sensors, the dots in the mirrors, which this doesn't actually have, does make you a lazy driver, and probably a worse driver. I think when you're physically changing gears and checking your mirrors and seeing what's in front of you, I think that does make you a better driver. Yeah, so all this assist and everything else, I do think it's not very good at all. Right, okay, so screen. So you've got the decent sized screen here with all the different menus on it. Obviously the main thing you notice, there's no gear lever, so you've got this big space here, which is home to a cup holder, and you've got a cup holder up there, cup holder here, and then a cup holder over there. While we're over there, you've got the 2 glove boxes. There's a charger I forgot about. So the glove box there and a little glove box there. No lights in there. There's no lights or mirrors on there. No lights or mirrors on there, which I kind of feels like on the cheap side. I quite like a mirror. There's no mirror in the middle. There's no mirror on there, so there's nothing. You can tell it's made by Ford because Ford people don't look at themselves as often. So if it was a Volkswagen, there'd be mirrors everywhere. But yes, there is a big lack of mirrorage. Right, that said, there is a few options on here. So you've got all your drive modes, which you've been through before: normal, eco, sport. Who's going to do sport? Well, I just put a clip of me at Cadwell Park in it here.
Steady. Why did you do that?
You see that? Nice. Right. Slippery. That just reduces the power, and then we have got the towing option on there as well, which I will be getting a tow bar for this van, just because of my other projects that I'm going to share with you. I just need to get to and from, but luckily it's not too far away, so yeah, it'd be quite a good van to tow because the power is there. This is rear wheel drive, so the power is there. Obviously it just knocks the hell out of your range, but it won't matter too much because it'll just be a case of maybe a 30-40 mile journey, not even that. So yeah, but like I say, we're going to get a tow bar on it. I'll go through the fitting of that later on in another video, but I'll just go through or carry on the features on here. So it's got heated seats, it's got heated mirrors, which we'll just put on for now. Obviously air conditioning, the climate there, depending on where you want it to blow, coming out the vents, coming out the bottom, on the windscreen, and maximum heat. So obviously if it was summertime you'd have maximum aircon. Just bang that on there, there's a bit of everything. Back to... yeah, so this is just going to be a quick run through of bits and bobs. That wipers, rain sensing, courtesy wipe sounds like something else. Lighting, locks. This is a big issue at the moment. So when I lock, the back doesn't always open with the key. So global unlock, yes, that's what we want. So when you lock it, everything unlocks. No, when you unlock it, everything unlocks, rather than it just being one door. But hopefully that now fixes that. Mislock chirp. Oh, that's the horn. That door wasn't quite shut, and it was about 6 o'clock in the morning, and I went to lock it, and it beeps the horn, and it is the worst sounding horn I've ever heard. Shall we do it? Yeah, how terrible is that horn? Everyone's coming out now going, bloody hell, what are you doing? Yeah, right, so the screen's on there. It is distracting. I was going through, my Apple CarPlay was connected, and I was going through the town, and I was too busy looking at the sat nav, and I wasn't looking where I was going. So that for me is very, very distracting. Yeah, I don't agree with it really. I think less screens and more actual dials would make you a better driver. Anyway, a couple of shortcuts here. So if you just want to get through the different modes, or what's that doing? Driver assist. So that one, parking. So obviously you got your sensors, and then maximum heat, which feels like the whole thing is a button. I don't know why it's all moving. All good. Right, get into normal. She's starting to warm up nicely. There's a handbrake release here, and there is a handbrake on here. So you seem to put it on here and then take it off here. Right, let's go for a bit of a spin. Well, we'll do a bit of recycling since we're doubling these videos up. He's still here, right. into reverse. Nope, why is it not doing it? Nothing. Right. Oh, here we go, it wasn't turned on. Right, so on here it tells you what song you're listening to and what percentage your battery is. You can go through that and change whatever it is that you want to know. So the left gauge and the right gauge, you can kind of go through. You can have the phone, navigate. You can kind of have all sorts of things on here. I pretty much just leave it as it is. But there is quite. The only thing I did notice on here was your call list. So if you want to call somebody back and it wasn't the last 5 people, you do find that they're not on there, so you do have to search for them. So I think a longer list of people would be better. But I mean, that is just a niggle. But we'll get on to the other niggle in a minute. Right, reverse out of here, it holds itself, and then you'll just tap your accelerator there and we're off. We're rolling. So let's say all these assists here at the moment kind of helping me out. I mean, this van really is on par with the ID Buzz. Now, a friend does have an ID Buzz. We went to the dual carriageway, and I'll be honest, his was a lot faster than this. I mean, this picks up well, but the ID Buzz picks up really well. I was very surprised with how fast that was in comparison. But so far it's so pleasant. It's so pleasant to drive. It corners well, it handles well. It does feel heavy on bumpy roads, so if you're travelling down a country lane, you do feel it bounce a lot, and it does feel like a bit of a drag. For anyone that's ever towed a trailer and you get that kind of like dragging, pulling feeling, that's what you get on a bumpy road. I think that's because of the weight of this. I'll find out the weight and I'll put it here. This is a heavy car, but like I say, it drives absolutely fantastic. I was never a fan of electric cars, like I said before, but I would not fault this at all. If you got, the only thing you would get on here is your range anxiety, so I would like a little bit more range on it, so over the 200 mile mark, knowing that you could get to more than one place in a day, rather than thinking, well, I can't make it, so I'm gonna have to go home, or I'm gonna have to charge up. So there's that to consider, and also the speed limiter. So this thing is limited to 71 miles per hour. Not only is that ridiculous, but it's bloody dangerous. And I'll give you an example of that. There was someone, I was in the middle lane, there was someone on the inside lane that wanted to overtake a truck. Now, I was doing 70, they was catching me, I was catching them up, and then I let them out. So what I did was, I put myself then into the outside lane, still doing 71 miles per hour. And then the car that had overtaken the lorry had sped up to above 70, so we was pretty much matched his own speeds. And I was stuck then in the outside lane, so I'd have had to slow down for the car that I'd just let out, so I could tuck in behind it, so I wasn't holding the outside lane up. So yeah, it was not good, not good at all. So yeah, I just think just a little bit of length on the top end would be ideal, because like I say, the bottom end is fantastic. The range could be better, but it's not bad. I honestly cannot fault this. I think there's more pros to this than there would be the diesel. I honestly believe that, and I think for a work van it makes absolute sense. Parking brake is on, so that's it, we're not going anywhere, and I'll just turn it off and fully guard, so you've got the options there. The only thing I've noticed in here is, like say, that's one button up and down, but the passenger side one isn't. And like I said on the other video, what I like to do is you just knock that, hold the steering wheel, eat an apple, and then once I've finished, I can throw the apple straight outside. And that is, it sounds minimal, but it is quite annoying, to be fair. So you've kind of got to especially on these cold days, you've kind of got to hold that with my apple in the mouth, apple in your eye, hold it like that, and then yeah, it just makes it a little bit more awkward. If that was just one push, that'd go down and you could just launch it out, flick that back up, and you're on your way. Now that's the only thing. There are a few. So from here, I don't think, yeah, this steering wheel column is adjustable, but I can just see from here my line of vision. I don't know if you can see it, but I can just see a plug there. Now I know that's not much of a problem, but it's a bit like being on a Ryanair flight and one of the panels are missing on the plane. You know everything will be fine, but it's just better if you couldn't see what's behind it. So it is a little bit like that. I can see it, but why should I be able to see it? Especially here as well. Look, I can just see the framework there. Yeah, it's nothing much, but it's still annoying that I can see it. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with the interior of it. So I've put the rubber mats in. It was an addition, didn't come with rubber mats, nor did it come with the seat covers, but that'll just protect it. So that said, this is a lease deal. So this currently is mine for 2 years and 2 years only. So I'll just have a walk around it. So just have a quick walk around. This here, look, I don't know if that's important, but that is just in the wheel, so in the archway. So while that's kicking shit up, there's a good chance that is going to get covered in shite all over. So yeah, that's probably going to get covered in dirt, kicked up from that wheel there. So hopefully that's well waterproof, because I mean, it's a good place to get to it to service it, whatever it may be, but it's not a very good place to put it at all, nor is that suspension bolt there. That's probably going to be 10 years, I suppose in 10 years time, this car, let's be honest, is going to be in the recycling bin, isn't it? You're not going to get 10 years out of this. And at 50, how much does it retail this? I think it's at 53 grand, this van. But the lease deal I got on this was a very, very good deal, through a leasing company, which was, it was 3 grand down, and then it's like, it's £185 a month is what it works out for 2 years, and I get 20,000 miles. So I mean, at the moment I've done 1,000 miles in 2 weeks. So unless I start working local, this thing is going to go over, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Same again this side. That cables and stuff like that is all in that wheel arch, so that is going to get covered in shite. So yeah, see what happens there. You've got this is a blanking gap, so obviously on the diesel models that would have been the fuel fillet. And we'll just have a quick look right under here. You do get the coolant. You've got coolant, and you've got obviously the wiper, wash wiper. I don't know why it's got coolant. I think that's something to do with the heat pump. So if you set this to heat up in a morning, which it will do, so on a frosty morning you can set it to come on, and what it does is you set your departure time. So if I set it at 6:30, this will warm up before you get into it. So while it's on charge, it'll warm up, and what it does is while it is warm, it gives you more range. So if the batteries start off in a morning hot, you're probably going to get 10 to 15 miles extra. And I know it's a bit of a gimmick. It's not a gimmick, I don't know, but like, say if the batteries start warm, it will give you more. But like, it's like, is that such a crap thing? I don't know. Like, but at the moment, this is more convenient. Going to here, plugging my car charger into it and leaving it. That has got to be more convenient than going to a petrol station, surely. I don't mind it. It's one of those, you just get used to it, and I guess it's just not normal to what people are used to, and I think that's what people are scared of. You've just got to bite the bullet and kind of take all the insults that you're going to get, and you're going to get them, especially if you're working on site. but you do get a lot of positive comments, so you kind of got to take the rough with the smooth. Right, anyway, in here you've got a load of electrical gubbins. There's a car battery there, I recognise that. That looks like an aircon pump, but other than that, all that underneath there is absolute alien to me, but this is the way that cars are going, and I imagine everything that you need to repair on this you need to plug in, but it looks relatively easy to work on, to be fair. You can get to everything. It's definitely not going to have turbo failures or cam belt failures, so that is another good thing about an electric vehicle. Right, there we go. I'm going to leave it there, and I'm going to carry on reviewing this as we go along. Now, I just wanted a quick walk around whilst the sun was out, and just whilst I had time in between my jobs. So yeah, I like it. I really like it, actually. If anyone's considering it, and hopefully there's someone in the comments there that's anti-electric, goes out and buys one and absolutely loves it. If that's you, if that's your story, please let me know, because I'm not pushing people to electric cars. I'm not, because I like a petrol or a diesel engine as much as the next person, but I just think this thing, for me, it works, and at the moment it's cheap motoring, so there's not much of that about at the minute. It's cheap motoring, so yeah, at the minute, fingers crossed, we're doing good. So right, thanks for watching, and I shall see you on the next video. I'll do a proper review of it eventually, but I need to write down more things about it, but we'll do that next. I just want to show you while it had enough time and a bit of daylight. So right, thanks for watching, and I'll see you later on.